Well, we figured that we had some unusual surnames. Debbie Rawson, Rebecca Steel. My name is Rawson, raw iron and steel. So we tried all sorts of combinations to do with metal. And in the end, galvanised. And I especially like that one because we've always wanted to play together and we never have. So we galvanised ourselves into action and created a program. So we've all worked together. It's just we haven't worked, it's three of us, and it was an enormous amount of fun.
It's a very interesting combination because the saxophone's actually got a great big sound, and so has the grand piano. And poor old flute, honestly, it's very hard work for me competing with these two. But
she can cope.
I can cope. I'm joking, really. But no, it is an interesting combination of sounds. And actually, the soprano saxophone and the flute sound quite amazing together, don't they?
Yes, they do.
They can actually sound almost the same at times. Yeah.
And the soprano, sax and piccolo sounds amazing together too, and Ross Harris's piece. And of course there is really very little repertoire for this, and it's hardly a thing. So we just had to start from scratch and look through the pieces that we knew of, and we commissioned a new work to be written for this combination with the amazing Ross Harris. So the program consists of normal solos for normal repertoire, and 3 or 4 pieces we combine. And in each situation, the colours are very different, and the repertoire is one piece is very different from the other. So it'll be an exciting program.
The Du Bois, which we're doing first, is a very accessible piece, quite easy to listen to. It's not challenging in that sense. And of course, Deirdre's Rachmaninoff will be sensational. So yeah, real variety.
I'm personally looking forward to playing on Tolkach because I've always wanted to perform this piece, and it's not performed very often, and I think it has wonderful qualities. It's ethereal and beautiful, and it's also funky and wild, and it's got all the elements of entertainment, quality entertainment and depth. And the Echen, the piece we play at the end, is an awesome piece. It's wonderful to play, and audiences always love it.
Yes, it was written for violin originally, which is why I'm thinking of doing bits of it on the alto flute. It's not quite decided yet, but the violin has a slightly lower register than the flute. But it works very well as a flute.
It does.
Saxophone and piano piece. The Poulenc, which is the piece that I'm playing with Deirdre, is just a fantastic piece for flute and piano. Because again, the piano is often in competition with the flute to an extent in the big repertoire, whereas this Poulenc is written in such a way that the flute and piano are complementing one another, and it's quite conversational, but it's never a battle of sounds. So it's a delightful piece, and Deirdre and I both love playing it. We played it a year ago. We played it in Nelson, actually, in a recital we did. I'm just looking forward to seeing the country again, really, and driving around, because every now and then I'll fly to Christchurch or fly to Auckland, but I don't often get to go to anywhere else, in fact, so I'm really looking forward to that.
I just love touring this country, and I love the chamber music network that we have here. Each society has its own particular character, and I just love revisiting these places. I'm going back to Invercargill, where I was born, and that's Deirdre's birthday that night as well. So that'll be a pretty special way to end the tour. Well, I think they'll be presented with a feast of new experiences, and they'll be hearing things they've never heard before, plus some familiar works, like Deirdre's Rachmaninoff is well known, and Poulenc is well known. And they will be treated to a feast of colour as well. And they won't be bored, we promise.